We continue now at the top of Daf Mem Zayin Amud Beis in Meseches Shabbos. This is Shabbos Daf 47b. This Daf is sponsored by Mr. Danny Harris in memory of Mrs. Miriam Hertzberg. We thank you for your sponsorship. If you would like to sponsor an Amud or Daf, please see the description box below. The Gemara continues here quoting a brisa. It says Avol Aser. This was talking about various things, assembling either a bow or various parts of a bed, that even though it's a potter if you do that on Shabbos, but it is Aser to do it lechatchila. And the brisa continues, Velo Yiska. You shouldn't do it with strength. You shouldn't do it tight. If you assemble these items in a strong way, then you're chayav chatas. Rav Shimon ben Gamliel omer m'haya rafoi mutter. Rav Shimon ben Gamliel says that if it's done in a softer fashion, not only is it not chayav chatas, it's even mutter lechatchila. And the Gemara here is bringing this brisa to say that the Amoraim before, who permitted a mita shel tarsiyim, they follow Rav Shimon ben Gamliel's opinion. Tosas here just points out one thing that we should mention here. Tosas says, nami mayri barafa. You're going to have to say earlier by the mita shel tarsiyim they only allowed it barafui. We won't do the rest of Tosas, but Tosas there is asking, it really doesn't make a lot of sense, because you had Amoraim arguing about mita shel tarsiyim. One set of Amoraim said it was chayav achatos, the other said it's mutter lechatchila, and now we're saying, and the whole machlokas is by rafui. It's a little bit strange to say that you have a machlokas to the extremes, where one position is chayav chatos and the other position says it's mutter lechatchila, and you have no position of Amoraim in between of pater avol aser, and we'll leave that off. The Gemara now continues. Bei Rav Chama, in the house of Rav Chama, have a mita galal nisa. There was a mita galal nisa. Rashi says that's the same as a mita shel tarsiyim. Have a mahadri la b'yom hatava, and they would put it back together on Yontiv. Amar le'ahumi the Rabbanan l'Rava. So a certain one of the Rabbanan said to Rava, "Mai daitach? What's your opinion on this? Binyan min hatzadhu? You think it's okay because it's binyan min hatzad?" Rashi explains binyan min hatzad means you're not doing it in a strong fashion. It's considered through a shinoi. Nihi de isura doraisa, like a granted that it's not an isur doraisa. Isura de Rabbanan miyaika certainly would be an isur de Rabbanan. How do you allow this? Amar Le said to him, Anok Rav Shimon ben Gamliel really. I hold like Rav Shimon ben Gamliel, that Rav Shimon ben Gamliel in this brisa above, that if you do it in a loose fashion, not only is it not chayav achatas, it's also not pater avol aser, it's actually mutter lechatchila. The Gemara now continues with the Mishnah. Nosnin kli tachas haner lekabel nitzotzos. First of all, a person's allowed to put a kli underneath a candle to receive the sparks. However, v'lo yitein l'socho mayim. You should not put water in that kli, mimneshu mechabe, because then you're going to be extinguishing. The Gemara here will discuss whether we're talking about doing all these things on Shabbos or before Shabbos. So the Gemara says, first the Gemara says, if you're doing this on Shabbos, aren't you being mevatel kli meichano? In other words, if I'm putting a kli to receive the sparks, so the sparks are muksa, and now the kli is receiving something that's muksa. That's a isser we learned about earlier called mevatel kli meichano. You're making the kli muksa on Shabbos. Amar Rav Huna Breder Rav Yoshua, so Rav Huna, the son of Rav Yoshua, answered, Nitzotzos ein bohen mamish. We saw this earlier in the Meseches also, that sparks are not considered substantial, and therefore there's no problem of mevatel kli meichano. The kli does not become muksa because it's holding some sparks. Then the Mishnah said, you can't put water in this kli because you're going to be mechabe the sparks that fall in there. So the Gemara says, does this Mishnah, or let us say that this Mishnah follows Rabbi Yossi's opinion, the Amar gorem lekiboy aser. Rabbi Yossi's opinion was, if you set up a situation where it causes kiboy, it causes extinguishing, it's a problem. So this over here also, apparently you're not supposed to put water in this kli because you're gorim, you're causing there to be an extinguishing of fire. Rashi here explains, Rabbi Yossi, b'chol kisvei hakodesh. Rabbi Yossi's opinion is found in Parak Kol Kisvei hakodesh. Tekatani osa mechitza b'chol hakelim bein melein bein rikonin kadesh lo tavor hadleika. The Tanakama says that you're allowed to, let's say you have a fire that's spreading, you can take all kinds of kalim, whether they have liquid in them or not, and when the fire gets to those kalim, the kalim will explode and they'll put out the fire. Rabbi Yossi oser b'chli cheres chadashim meleim mayim. But Rabbi Yossi said that it's a problem to use clay vessels that are new that have water, she'en yachon lekabel, or because those will not be able to take the fire properly. Vein misbakim u'mechaben esadleika, they're going to break apart and they're going to extinguish. So essentially, he said that gram kiboy on Shabbos is a problem, and that seems to be the issue over here. So the Gemara says, what are you talking about? V'tizber, is that logical? Amor da'amar Rabbi Yossi b'Shabbos. Rabbi Yossi said that on Shabbos itself. Be'erev Shabbos mi'amar. You think he said that on Erev Shabbos? And here the Gemara is assuming that our Mishnah is on Erev Shabbos. And if you're going to say that our Mishnah is talking about on Shabbos, but we have a brisa that says not like that. What does the brisa say? It's exactly the same as our Mishnah, but it tells you that our Mishnah is whether on Shabbos or Erev Shabbos. The brisa says, "Nostan kli tachas haner lakabel nitzotzos b'Shabbos." A person can put a kli underneath a candle to catch the sparks on Shabbos. Ve'ein tzarich lomer b'Erev Shabbos. For sure, you could do it on Erev Shabbos. V'lo yitein l'sochol mayim, and he shouldn't put water into the kli m'mneshu mechave me Erev Shabbos, because he's causing kiboy all the way from Erev Shabbos. Ve'ein tzarich lomer b'Shabbos. Certainly, you can't put water in the kli on Shabbos. So you see clearly that this isser is whether it's Shabbos or whether it's Erev Shabbos. So rather, Ela Amar Ravashi, rather Ravashi says, Afilu Tamer Rabbanan. Our Mishnah can even follow the position of the Rabbanan that gram kiboy is mutter. Shani hacham imnesha mekarev es kibuyev. This is different. It's actually worse than gram kiboy. You're causing the kiboy to come faster. That's not the same as a gram kiboy. Rashi here explains. First of all, V'atanya Afilu be'erev Shabbos aser. Doing this even on Erev Shabbos is aser. V'ila gram kiva medamisla. Now, if you're talking about gram kiboy here, afilu krabiosi lo mesukma. The Erev Shabbos lo Rabiosi. Gram kiboy is for sure not a problem in Erev Shabbos. Our Mishnah is a problem even on Erev Shabbos. El Omer Ravashi, rather Ravashi says, Masnisan afilu l'Rabbanan. Really, our Mishnah follows even the Rabbanan. Delo domi l'gram kiboy. Our Mishnah has nothing to do with gram kiboy. The awesome because over there, kimati deleko l'kelim deleko hu depaka lahu v'garma grama bialmu. Over there, the fire causes the keli to explode, which is a grama of kiboy. Here, where you're putting water underneath the candle, you're actually being mechabe. That's not gorim. That's not considered a grama. In such a situation, even miba'od yom, it's going to be a problem. Gezerah, you shouldn't do it before Shabbos because you're obviously not allowed to do it on Shabbos. Shemekarev es kibuyav zimun kiboy lahedyer. You're zimun kiboy lahedyer. You're preparing the kiboy explicitly. V'havale mechabe mamish. It's mamish mechabe. You have a yoav le b'Shabbos if you did it on Shabbos. Hadron alachkira. We will return to you parakira. This is the end of the third parak of Meseches Shabbos. If you've been following along in the daf on this channel, please, you can take a look at the description box and see various ways you can support this channel down below. We will now continue with the fourth parak of Shabbos. This is parak Bamet Tomnin. The Mishnah says, Bamet Tomnin uvama ein Tomnin. With what items are you allowed to insulate on Shabbos, and with what items are you not allowed to insulate on Shabbos? Rashi here explains, Bamet Tomnin, habol sali kedera me'al gabe kira. Let's say a person wants to remove a pot from on top of the stove, and then he wants to insulate it with something else. The Chachamim said, Ein tomnin b'davar hamosif hevel. You're not allowed to be tomin with something that adds heat. Ela b'davar hamaymid hevel. Only with something that maintains the heat. Miu amosif v'aser. Which substances are mosif hevel, and it's problematic to do hatmana with those substances. So the Mishnah explains, Ein tomnin lo begefes. You're not allowed to be tomin with gefes, v'lo bezevel, lo bemelech, v'lo besid, v'lo bechol. Not with zevel, melech, sid, and chol. Bein lachin, bein yeveshin. Whether they're moist or whether they're dry. Those items, it doesn't matter. V'lo betevin, v'lo bezogin, v'lo bemuchin, v'lo be'asavin. With those items of tevin, zogin, muchin, and asavin, bizman shein lachin, they're only a problem when they're moist. Avol tomnin ben kashen yeveshin, when they're dry, it's not a problem. Rashi explains what some of these items are. Gefes is psolas shel beis habad shel shemen shukonis yachad v'cham ma'od. This is basically the psolas when they used to make oil. The psolas was very warm, so that adds hevel. Lachin yeshban have a harbe yosem yavation. Things that are moist have much more hevel than things that are dry. So that's what gefes is. Zevel, just to go through the things in the Mishnah here. Zevel is obviously manure. Melach is salt. Sid is plaster. Chol is sand. And those are bein lach and bein yavation. Now tevin is straw. What's zagin? Rashi says zagin psolas shel yakev yain. That's the psolas when they used to make the wine. So it would be the peels and other items that are left over from the grapes. And then v'lo b'muchin. What's muchin? Rashi says kol davar rach kori muchin. Anything that's soft is called muchin. Could go in semer geffen, for example, cotton, utilishet semer, or you have pieces of wool, rach, which are soft, shel behema from an animal, ugriras begad and beluyim, or let's say you have clothing which are no longer usable anymore, so you're using those pads. Those are all going to be a problem. And then also asavin is grass. Those are all a problem when they're moist. They are not a problem when they are dry. The Gemara now says, Iboilu gefes shel zaysim tanan avol deshumshim and shaber dami. When we're talking about the leftover from the oil, are we talking about olives, like olive oil? But sesame would be fine. Odilma deshumshim and tanan, or maybe we're talking about sesame, v'chol shekain dezaysim, and certainly olives would be problematic. Olives is essentially more problematic than shumshimin. Tashma will bring a proof to Amar Rabbi Zeira mishum chad devei Rabbi Yanai, because Rabbi Zeira said in the name of one of the people in the yeshiva of Rabbi Yanai, kupa shetoman bo asur lanicha al gefes shel zaysim. It says that if you have a kupa kupa that you insulate, you can't put it on gefes shel zaysim. Shma mina shel zaysim tanan. You see that it's only oil that's a problem. So the Gemara said, no, liola ve'malach le'inyan hatmana deshum shemin nami aser. It could be that when it comes to hatmana, sesame is also a problem. However, le'inyan, meaning that this statement that was made before is not talking about hatmana, it's talking about something else. And we'll see in the next video on Daf Meseches Amud Aleph a continuation of this discussion.